to make you think. Peter Batty is a founder and VP of Geospatial Technology at Ubisense and has worked in the geospatial industry for about 20 years. Take it away, Peter.
Woo! Thank you. So the title of my talk is Don't Make Me Think. It's named after this little book on software usability, which is a great book. Highly recommend it. So recently I've been doing a lot of work with a cool new mapping product that we call My World. It uses Google Maps to really have an easy front end on complex geospatial data. So I'm basically going to share some tips on usability, show some good examples and bad examples, and I apologise in advance to all the people in the room I'm going to offend with those bad examples. So my top 3 rules for usability, good usability: 1, do usability testing; 2, do usability testing; 3, do usability testing. This is a really simple thing that we often don't do in the software industry. I've just been converted to it in the last few years. And it's really incredibly simple to do. All you need to do is put the application in front of the user, shut up and watch. And it's incredibly difficult to do this as a developer. You keep wanting to say, press this, press that, do that. I mean, and it's just really, really educational to see what users actually do when they sit down in front of your application. So this is an example from My World. We thought this was a really cool user interface. We sat users down and asked them to search for things. And the first 2 users we put in front of the system, they started all clicking here. And this is actually the help graphic. The real search box is up here. And that would never have occurred to me. You know, I put it there. I knew it was a dumb graphic. And so we just rearranged it like this, and now it works so much better. And it's a small thing, but it's attention to detail like that. You know, it's the user's first experience with the system. And you only have to sit down there for 5 minutes, really, and you find out a whole load. So we don't read web pages, we skim them. Is another thing to keep in mind when you're designing web apps. You know, we just quickly look around and we click on the first thing that seems like a plausible thing. We don't really evaluate all the options there. And again, you really see this when you do usability tests. You might not believe it. So this is what the designer sees when they come up with this web page. And this is what the user sees. They narrow in really quickly, and they're ignoring most of what's on the web page. And again, if you don't believe me on this, just do this usability testing. Sit down and watch somebody using the system. So one way of getting around this is to use conventions, things like a search box. Everyone knows what that is up there, that they'll go straight to if they want to search. You know, Google Maps is so popular now. Use the same zoom tools and the things to change visibility and whatnot. Don't reinvent those unless you have a compelling reason to. Omit words. So get rid of half the words on your screen and then try and get rid of half of them again. Now it's hard to do that, but usually you can get rid of half, and it really helps. So there were a couple of different websites up there covering the Boulder fire last week. And this one I found really, really simple. So it has a really nice key over here, you know, explaining what's going on. And you can just go and click on these things here, and something pops right up and you see it. It's really easy to use, has a lot of good info. Now the next one, I'm afraid, was in the previous presentation. But so when this came up, I went and clicked on these things, nothing happened. So I went up here, I started going through all of these menus up here. And after 15 options, I found this identify thing, and then I clicked, and I got something that was kind of less intuitive than I got on the other map. So for GIS people, it might seem intuitive, but for your average person, it's not. Now, let's talk about ArcGIS for IMAP. Now, James Fear's a pretty outspoken guy, he's a friend of mine, and he gave it a really good review. He said it's better than that old crap they used to put out on Windows Mobile. And so I was quite excited to have a go with it. So when I got it, I really liked the panning and zooming, and so, you know, that was so far so good. But then I decided I wanted to select an object. So I clicked on the eye down here. I know that's where it usually is info, right? Well, first I tapped, and that didn't work. That brought up some whole other dialogue. Eventually, after several things, I found I had to click up here. There's another eye icon here, which means something different. So second click was up here. Third click is on the map, and that tells me the address and all that long, but that's not what I want. I want the attributes. If I click the 4th time here, it shows me exactly the same information on a much larger screen than that map. There are 2 features of this location. I click here, and it takes me back 3 steps, and I have to click 3 more times. So eventually, if I click on this little one here, with 10 clicks, I'm able to display this screen. And so it has 6 attributes and no map, but I forgot what I was looking at on the map. So, you know, come on, guys. You know, we can really do better than this. We can really do better than this. So, you know, James, I don't know what you were on. I mean, you must have been, you know, I won't trust your reviews anymore. But, you know, we really, really do need to focus on this simplicity. And so, you know, selection really should be a one-click thing. I mean, you generally don't use that. So here's how we do it in our application. You click on the map and you get the attributes up there, like that previous one. So, you know, my plea for everybody here is we tend to just make things far too complicated in the geospatial industry, so we really just need to focus on simplicity. So that's it. Thank you.